morning, everyone. This is Karen Jackson, and welcome to Chat with Sandy and Karen. I am Karen Jackson, and my co-host,
Sandy from Gothenburg in Sweden.
And we have a very special guest today, Mr. Ben Moore, and he is going to just chat with us, and we're all going to sit back and relax and talk about education and tech, or maybe not. Who knows? Welcome, Ben.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Go ahead, Sandy.
We're very excited to have you on our show, Ben.
Thank you very much.
So I've been stalking your profiles, and you are the youngest Google educator out there.
Yeah, and youngest trainer as well.
And
have to push that in as well. No, it's something that if people watching, if they've seen some of my other appearances in podcasts and YouTube stuff, they always know I always like to chuck that in there. Just I don't think anyone else can beat me at that, considering my age. But it's going to be on my CV forever. That.
I think it's brilliant. But tell me, what made you go into Google, into the education part of it? Because I know, or what I've seen, mostly late teenagers, 20-year-olds, they're like not interested. They're like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I went to school, I had a couple of really inspirational teachers. One of those was Dean Stokes, who some of the people watching may know. He was actually my media teacher at school before he went and worked off for Google. So I was working with him. Well, sorry, I was his student and Darren White's student at the time. And obviously they're doing the transformation of our school into a Google school. And from a young age, I've always loved playing with tech, whether that be on a computer, the games console, something in mum and dad's car they've just got, whatever. It doesn't matter what it was. I'd always be involved in some way with it. So, when I went to sixth form, I was very fortunate. I went to the sixth form that sort of is between the two large secondaries in my town in Whittam in Essex, and they gave me a part-time job doing all the sort of the sound and lighting tech. So for shows and for performances, me and a colleague would go and just do all the lighting and sound and recording of all the events and stuff. So I sort of got my foot in the door whilst I was in sixth form and being paid for it as well, which is a bonus, which is really quite cool. Not many people go to sixth form and get paid to be there. So that was a bonus. But then, I don't know. I never really wanted to be a teacher. I've got to say, when I was at school, I thought I can be a teacher. I can do this. I just need to go and do something else. So I knew I wanted to do something with tech, but I didn't know I wanted to be a teacher. And it just fell into place really, from covering someone who was off because one of their relatives unfortunately passed away, and they just asked me to cover some of their music lessons because they're doing all the lighting and sound tech as part of their course anyway. So I got asked to cover and help out, and from there, at the end of the period when she come back, I was asked if I wanted to be there full time. I was teaching music and ICT, sort of a bit on the side, half and half sort of thing. But I was delighted to be offered a full time job here with someone, at one of the schools in the town, New Rickstones Academy, and I'm still here today. I've been here 5 years now. Loving it, and now I just teach ICT and computer science. So it's sort of, I come from somewhere where I was interested in tech. I wasn't interested in teaching at the time. I ended up covering to help someone out and actually really, really enjoyed it. And I didn't say this to management or to our head teacher, Mr. Lee, but, I was then offered a full-time job, and that, I just thought, well, why not take it, see how far it would take me. And as a result of doing that, I've ended up doing all my Google certifications and bits and pieces like that as well. So it's been a great journey. I've loved every step of it, and I'm going to try and push for innovator and coach next as well. I want to get all 5.
Yes, awesome. That was so cool. What a great story.
It's unusual for someone my age, as you said earlier. Someone of my age doesn't you know, normally down the pub with their friends or in a, you know, an apprenticeship or doing something they don't really want to do. But I don't know, it seemed to have slotted in place really nicely for me. It's just worked, you know. I've been really fortunate.
I think you're an inspiration for those kids at this age, especially during the pandemic, don't know which route to take, what to do. But it's nice that you've had the teachers, you had Darren and Dean, that you looked up to, that inspired you. Now you are there to inspire the ones who don't know what to do for their future as well.
100%. And just following on from that point as well, Sandy, I think it's too often in many workplaces, in many different sectors, young people aren't given the chance because they're young, they're inexperienced. You know, you've not done it before. You know, and I always try and push and advocate for giving young people that chance. You know, you can't get the experience, and you can't get any experience until you're given a chance. Yeah. You know, and my head teacher here, Mr. Lee, or Damien Lee, he was a teacher of mine when I was in secondary school as well, and now I work for him. You know, he knows how I work, and he always, you know, always strive to do the best I can, and probably do too much at times. But you know, I just really invested. I really want to build on the school. I really want it to be a great place to be. And you know, we're now oversubscribed, so you know, that's not down to me personally, but that's, you know, down to the great work of the school teachers, and as a collaborative effort, you know, we've gone from being severely undersubscribed to being, you know, full, and now got a waiting list in 4 years. So, you know, you know, the leadership team done an absolute cracking job down here. You know, I can't take my hat off to them enough.
It's that culture of everyone loving to come to work today, which I think that it goes into the kids, it goes into the parents. The parents talk to other parents and they think, yeah, that school is awesome. Those teachers are on fire. You know, I want my student to go there. That's the place to be. So,
you know,
yeah, hats off.
You know, and with obviously, I'm sure we're going to talk about it a little bit later with the whole, you know, COVID situation with being remote learning and stuff like that. But you know, some of our teachers, we've been a Google school since 2013, I think, when Dean first started with us. So it was 8 years ago we started. And some teachers have, you know, really got good at using the Google tools, and there's some teachers that are always, you know, in every workplace you always have people that are a little bit further behind. People that don't like that change. You know, they're scared of that change because it's, you know, they have to relearn the process, they have to relearn their job, and some people that's really stressful. But in lockdown, you know, the teachers here, they've been absolutely phenomenal. You know, every time someone's needed help, they just ask for it. You know, and just if you give them a push in the right direction, you know, so many of our staff have now got the level 1 Google exams under their belt, and thriving to go on to level 2 and trainer next as well. You know, I'm so proud of the staff down here. You know, if you looked at it a year ago, I would have said some of them, you know, I could never see them getting to grips with it and using stuff in the way they're now using it with the kids. And you know, the benefit on the kids from some of those teachers is absolutely incredible. It's so moving.
Awesome.
So how long have you been a educator trainer for now?
So I first did my educator exam, must have been just under a year ago. I think I got about 10 days off a year. And that well, so I was using the tools for 7 or 8 years. I used them through secondary school. I've used them when I started working here as a teacher, but I always wanted to do the exam. I never really had the time to do it. You know, it's a 3-hour exam, and I thought I just don't have the time with doing everything else I do. So I just never sort of got around to it. But unfortunately, last year I got very unwell with COVID. I first got ill in January with lots of chest pains and some quite serious sort of stuff going on. In March, about 6 weeks later, I was told I had double pneumonia, so fluid in the lungs. So obviously I was then off work from the 1st of March, and going from doing sort of 60 hours a week down to nothing, I found really difficult. You know, and I had to, you know, after a month of laying in bed watching, there's only so much rubbish daytime telly you can watch. I'm afraid before I start sort of going mad. So I had to do something, and I thought, well, why not give it a go now? And I was very fortunate. Darren supported me alongside Dean and a few other people, and I managed to get through level 1, level 2, and trainer within about 5 weeks. So I was very, very fortunate, and it's been the best, singly the best CPD I've ever done. You know, I learned stuff from the exams I never knew before. Even doing the revision and practicing, you know, I still learnt things in those exams that I wouldn't have otherwise known. And you know, the journey's just been so good. You know, meeting all the great people that I, you know, chat to, like you guys here. You know, I've got people like the, you know, GEG UK, Global GEG, which I'm really fortunate to be a leader or co-leader of as well, which is really great. You know, I've made such a strong PLN from being in the Google environment. I think it's the best, you know, the most supportive community you can be a part of. I really do.
No, I agree with you. I think especially during this last year, this community, the Google community, has been amazing.
They've turned around some incredible things, the Google community this year.
Yeah.
So how many other badges have you got now?
Cool, blimey.
Because you just love it, don't you? You just like...
I love a badge, me. I love a badge. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you how many I've got. I don't have a figure, but I know that I've had to make I've got a 45-second GIF of all of them in. I call it a GIF. Some people call it GIF, but I'm on the GIF side of that. I like a GIF.
A GIF.
You're a GIF as well. That's good. I think all of my badges are down to something like 0.5 seconds a piece. So it must be something like, I don't even want to guess, maybe 50, 60 badges.
Fantastic. I mean, because now I can see you've got Flipgrid 3, level 3.
Yeah, I just got that recently. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so, just recently got that. My kids love that. It's so good.
Yeah. So what are you working towards?
So as we said about earlier, I'm really, I want to do my Google Innovator, Certified Innovator, and Coach PDs as well. You know, I really want to complete the package as such. I want to get all 5. I did apply for Innovator last year for VIA 20. Unfortunately, I was rejected, but I didn't really take that much to heart. I'd only been in the Google community since April, so I thought, well, you know, I've not been here very long. People probably don't know that much about me, so you know, fair play. But you know, I know that as soon as that reopens, I'm going to reapply again. I had some feedback from Mr. Caffrey, or Andy Caffrey, for those of you that know him. Had some feedback, so I'm going to, you know, get working on it and reapply, and hopefully this time I'll be successful. But one of the other ones I'm working towards is level 2 Adobe. I can't remember the exact, Creative Educator, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm working towards that. I really want to get that done, but I'm just struggling with time at the moment, being back to work full time in the building now. It's you know, you forget how challenging and how much you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, well the kids are back now to school. How's it going?
Oh, I love them being back. You know, I've missed them so much. You know, so I teach year 9s all the way through the year. So they're my 13 to 14-year-olds. But my 11 to 13-year-olds, we do a 3-month rotation. So I had those. We come back to the building on 5th or I think it was the 5th of March. We come back with the kids. So I only had 2 weeks with that rotation before we went to our sort of spring break or Easter half term. But I've started my new groups this week. We started back on Monday this week, and I've been working with a new set of, you know, my new rotation of kids. And you know, I had some really sweet messages come through to me just at the end of term. We do like little thank you teacher cards at the end of each term, and for, you know, especially this term with the lockdown and stuff. And I received quite a few of those, and you know, I'm not ashamed to say it did bring a tear to my eye. I did get a little bit upset that these kids have actually written some really nice things. It makes you realise that, you know, you are having a positive impact, and the kids do appreciate it. Although sometimes you do have to nag, sometimes you do have to, you know, push them to do the right thing. But you know, it shows that they do appreciate it. They'd never admit that to me, but I know they do from the words. So it's very kind of them.
Well, I think it's important to remember that, they miss their teachers as well. For many, that a teacher who is for them, who just wants to be there is everything to them, and they really look forward to
Those lessons.
being with us. And not only that, I mean, teachers affect students the rest of their lives, just as we remember our teachers from our childhoods, even late into our years. You're really making an impact on them, especially during this really scary time. So I think it's a great time to have an impact on students right now.
I think some students, some students in lockdown, I felt really thrived. Some people that wouldn't, they're really sort of in their shell in the classroom, but when they're online, they're achieving absolutely incredible things. They're really thinking outside the box. That design thinking process, the innovative, thinking of young people. They're smashing it. They are so good, my kids. Some of them, some of them are better in the classroom. They needed to be face to face with a teacher, but that every kid's different, aren't they? Learning different ways, and some students that I wouldn't have heard anything from in the classroom, they're too nervous. They'd unmute themselves, they put the cameras on at home, they'd show me their animals, their pets, and all that sort of stuff as well. That just wouldn't have happened in the classroom. And now we've had that experience. Some of those kids, when they see me around the corridor, they just say hello, give me a wave, give me a nice little elbow now, because we're not allowed to high five or anything. They give me an elbow. But that wouldn't have happened before this. And I think that really touches me, that kids sort of they want to be with you. They want to come to your classes. They enjoy your lessons. That's just a massive tick in the box for me. If it wasn't doing that, I'll be doing the wrong job, I think, or I'll be doing a bad job at least.
I agree.
So it's good, yeah.
Go ahead. You have a question?
My question was, oops, and it's just gone off of my head. As you can see, Ben, when we do, we never go according to the script. Oh, question over question, whatever you said.
No, it's, I do this sort of thing with Darren. You guys probably seen the short and sweet on YouTube. We do the same sort of thing, so we know we just go off the schedule as well. We sort of get lost and we trip over our own words and all sorts. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We had Darren on last week as well.
Oh, really?
We recorded. We're gonna publish his episode airs today.
He's so funny. He's just. It's so comical here as well. What he's like on the screen or on messages and all that sort of stuff. He's like that, but 10 times worse in person. It's so funny. He's just hilarious.
Well, we found out his favourite colour's purple. Do you have a colour?
My favourite colour, it's got to be blue. Got to be blue, I'm afraid. I think it's really relaxing. When I look out and see, I've got sun shining here at the moment, but a clear blue sky. I love that. It just makes me feel so relaxed. And I've just treated myself to a brand new blue car as well. So I've upgraded finally. So it's
nice. They're not the colours for West Ham.
No, it's claret and blue for West Ham, isn't it? Claret and blue, I know. I wonder if Darren supports West Ham. I never asked him, actually. He likes purple, I like blue. That'd be a match made in heaven, then, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
I have to ask him that. One thing I don't know about
him. Tell us one of your best lessons that you've inspired one of your students. That maybe me and Karen can take away.
Okay, so let's think about something that everyone can use, because we've got a couple of paid packages, but okay, this is one I've been doing with my students this week, actually. So I've got my 11 to 12-year-olds for a lesson we call Digital Creator. So they get to select their sort of rotation lessons, and they selected this Digital Creator lesson. So as it says in the title, you make things online. But at the moment, we're starting to make our own apps using Glide apps and or Google Slides to start off with, so they get the basics, and Google Sheets to understand how the database aspect works. But I've really had the kids have really had they've had a really good uptake to that, actually. I was a bit apprehensive to do it with students when I started this week. But some of them have been emailing me at 10 o'clock at night asking me, how do I put this bit in? How do I change the colour on this?
Yes.
I want this piece of information here. I can't seem to move it. These are 11 or 12-year-olds. These are the youngest year group in our school, and they're to get them inspired like that and to do things and email me at that time of night is obviously showing they're still thinking about it 7 or 8 hours after they've had the lesson with me. And that's just one I've done this week with the kids. But I don't know if you guys have used it out because you're in the States, aren't you? Or you're Sweden, and Karen, you're in the States. Have you used Canopy, the Workspace Skills package? Have you seen that yet?
I haven't played it yet. No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's. Do you remember when we had in Google Classroom, we used to be able to do like training modules in there and almost like interactive tutorials? It's basically like that, but for all the Google tools. It's an extension you install. As I say, it's a paid package, but there's like a bronze, silver, and gold tool for every bronze, silver, and gold badge for every tool. I love a badge, so I've done all.
Can I ask? It's like applied digital skills where they have the lesson.
Similar. Yeah.
Okay. Very
similar to that, yeah. So I've been doing that with my kids and getting them the basics of using all the tools, and the competition between them. I can't believe it. It's like they're arguing about who's got the better efficiency scores. They could be arguing about a lot worse, and they're arguing about who can do it the best. Of all things, that's
awesome,
brilliant. But you got as trainers, both of you trainers, I think, as well, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you'll have access to this on your trainer domain. I have to let you know. I have to have a chat with you after to get it set up for you.
Thank you. And we can compare efficiency scores.
Yeah, and you can get yourself 30. I think it's 37 badges in total. So
nice.
Love a badge. Put all them in your GIF at the bottom of your email.
There we go.
It's all about the badges, isn't it?
It's all about the badge. It's all about the badge.
Badges and stickers. I haven't got some stickers recently. I need some stickers.
I've got some on the back of my laptop, but I've just Sticky Mill done a deal last week or the week before. I've got to admit I went a little bit overboard. I'd use lots of friends' phone numbers to get the 79p deal.
Referrals.
15 or 16 different packs of stickers, but I've got lots to give out to staff when they complete all the different badges as well. So
that's cool. I used to get tons of stickers at conferences. That's where I'd get bags and bags of it. But now I'm kind of out. We need to start getting back to conferences so I can get some more stickers.
I've never been to a conference. I really wanted to go to BET last year.
Oh my gosh!
But obviously, with the whole situation, we never got to go. But Abid and Stephanie Howe, they're all saying we all need to go to BET, and we're all gonna go next time we can go all together. We're definitely gonna make sure we're there. I hope I can actually meet you two in person as well. That'd be amazing.
Yes, that was awesome. One of our cohort members, Mark Vandemortel, came to Texas, and he was going to a conference which was in Austin, which is very close to where I live, and so he was able to tour our school district, and the students we had a little assembly for our middle school students, and they asked all kinds of questions about education. And so he's from the Netherlands, and it was this kind of the Google for Education group and levels and activities and trainings and everything just really opened up the world for me, not only me, but my district, and that's 8,000 students, so something that, and I just did it because it was on a whim. My school district required us to be trainers, but they didn't require us to be innovators. So when I applied for it, it was just something that I was just so in love with, I wanted to do. Yeah. And then it just really had an effect. The ripples of that have just really gone throughout my career and friendships, and it's really been a blast. It really has.
Yeah, this is well, go on, let you say, Sandy. I know you're about to say something there.
No, I was going to say the same thing, that the PLN, or the, you know, you get sucked in, but it's not a bad sucked in. It's like a good feeling, like you've achieved something. So it's really nice. But I think
I was just going to say, they're all about celebrating the small success of the Google community, aren't they? Anything and everything you do, let's celebrate it. Let's shout you out for it. And that's it's those small things that make all the difference to people, and that's what pushes them to keep going and keep doing them, isn't it? Keep doing the next levels.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, Bet Show is amazing. I do hope to see you at the Bet Show.
I'd love to see you guys. I'd love that.
If I can get Karen into Europe, maybe she will be there too.
Yeah, or you can come to ISTE, wherever it is in the US. Just mark that down whenever we have one. Awesome. Yes, that would be fabulous.
So Ben, tell us, what are your future plans? Because I mean, I didn't get into Google until I was in my 30s.
Oh, really? Blimey. Don't look at David, Sandy.
Blimey, Sandy, that's old.
You are such a gentleman.
I was just surprised that you were that old. I was like, no way.
No
way. Don't look at it. You're all right.
That was last week.
Yeah.
Oh, so what are you gonna do? What's your next? What project are you working on for the future, or near future, or future?
Well, I mean, at the moment, I'm working, say, at my school as a associate teacher. So technically an unqualified teacher at the moment, whilst I work towards my degree. I'd really like to get my qualified teacher status, and become a full-time just computer science and ICT teacher. I'd sort of do that. I have 18 hours a fortnight now, but then I have to sort of cover other people's lessons and when they're off ill and stuff like that. So it's a little bit hectic at times, but I'd like to be able to do this full-time. It is definitely something I'm going to work on. I really want to get that qualified teacher status and make my way up in the school that I'm in. They really invested in me from a young age and gave me a lot of responsibility and trust that I don't think if I was at another school I would have been given. The head teacher here, he's really supported me in developing myself, not only in the classroom, but in my other job role. I'm a lettings coordinator. So basically that's why I'm here in what I'm wearing now. We hire out the building after hours to dance clubs and football or sports groups and stuff like that, and hairdressing and all sorts. We hire out our facilities. So me and my friend, both the same age, do the same job, but he's a music, not IT teacher. We both sort of look after all the bookings and we lock up the school. So at 18, I had a full set of keys to a £25 million building. Actually, tell a lie, I got a set of keys to both. We have two schools in our town, so I have keys to £50 million off a building. You wouldn't have got that. No one else would have got that at 18. Really invested me and really sort of guided me. I didn't always get things right, and that was a given because I'm inexperienced. I'm young, but they gave me that chance, and they gave me the training. They gave me the support I needed, and then I sort of went from there. I build on that and always try to do things that make streamline things for people to make them work smarter, not harder as such. And that's a big thing. All my YouTube videos always say to work smarter, not harder. That's the ultimate goal. It should be for everybody. Why work harder if you don't need to?
Yeah, it's definitely work smarter.
Yeah, 100%. That's what the Google tools do for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah,
it helps everyone to work smarter.
No, I think you are a great inspirator out there for the young people. Anyone who's listening, I mean, I would definitely love for you to come and talk to my students as well.
I'd love to.
I teach, it's like a sixth form college, but in Sweden, the sixth form college is 3 years.
Okay.
Before the university. And so, I think there's a lot of kids at the age of 17 just don't know what to do with their future.
Yeah.
And to hear not from someone like me, but someone like you who could say, hey, you know, the world is
around.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, when I was covering that teaching, you know, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was actually working on the side there part time as a manager in Domino's Pizza, is what I was doing. That was my main job at the time. I then when they asked me to help out in music stuff, I come in during the day and did the Domino's at night time. You know, I didn't really think of myself going into teaching, as I say, and it's because I've done that cover and they've come in to see my lessons and you know, can see, well, I presume obviously offer me a job, so they've seen what I could do and thought it was good enough, so they've obviously asked me to stay full time. And I think if I hadn't have taken that opportunity, I wouldn't be where I am today. That's for definite. I wouldn't have done all my Google exams. I wouldn't be earning all the badges I am and that sort of thing. You know, I'd probably still be at Domino's if I'm being honest. I just wouldn't have known where to go. So, you know, having that opportunity and giving that young person a chance is all I needed to grow and thrive and get to where I am today.
So then, following on, Domino's or Pizza Hut?
It's got to be Domino's. I'd be, if I said Pizza Hut there, I'd be completely trashing the name I've worked for a few years. No, in all honesty, I would prefer Domino's. In all honesty, they've got good quality stuff, good quality food, and they're really, really tight on the quality and the the ingredients they use. They don't go cheaper. Let's say they you know, the stuff is expensive, but that's because you've got expensive and good ingredients, which is really good. And the people, as I say, they train really hard to make them. It's you'd think it's quite easy, but actually stretching out and making that dough right is really difficult. It took me about a year to learn how to do that properly.
No way.
Yeah, it was I could do it for about you know, I was doing it for about 3 or 4 months and went on a couple of training courses for it, because you know, it's really quite a fine art to get right. Not to make it too thin. You have to make sure that the crust is pencil thin. You know, they're really funny about it. Really, I think it's a little bit OCD if you ask me, but there we go.
Well, it has to be the same every time. That's the deal. When you're selling hundreds of pizza a day, it's got to be the same. Whereas if we in our own kitchens, we may have a little thicker crust or a little thinner.
I mean, I've got to say, I did try a Domino's in New York when I went there in 2018. I went there with our sixth form. We did a trip over there for a week just to basically sightseeing. And I had a Domino's there, and I've got to say, I think the UK one's better. I've got to say, sorry, Karen, but I think
that's okay. That's okay. I know Texas. If you were in Texas, you would love Texas more. Texas is better than New York.
I haven't been to Texas. One day I'll definitely go there and meet you, Fonz, and Carlos, and everyone.
Yes. Awesome.
So, I was going to say, well, in Italy, there's a Domino's there. Can you believe there's a Domino's in Italy?
I was going to say, they have proper pizzas over there, don't they, Domino's?
Exactly.
But Domino's must
do very well there.
Surely.
Have you eaten there? Or do people just mock as they walk by?
I was going to say, yeah. People must mock it.
They do. When you say, oh, I'm getting Domino's, they're like, what?
Yeah.
Yes, what?
That's a sin. That's a sin when you got pizza like that over there.
Yeah.
Proper stone baked. I'd love one of them.
No, it's amazing, though. I think New York is really good as well. I've been there. I took my tech students there. We saw tech stuff.
Wow.
So I don't know now. I mean, now it's not so much open, but it's so nice to see the kids broaden their horizons as well.
100%. You know, when we were there, I think it was a group of, there's about 50, must have been 40 or 50 of us from our sixth form go there from the UK. So we had an 8-hour flight. We had to be here at something like 3 a.m. to get to Heathrow Airport and fly across to JFK. But we were there for about 5 days, and I've got to say it was incredible. The food there is next level stuff. You know, I had I think we had food in the Hard Rock Cafe in New York. That was the best burger I think I've ever had. To this day, I think it's still the best burger I've ever had.
Oh, brilliant. So in your short time of teaching, you've talked about the bad stuff. I mean, I think one of the downsides of being a new teacher, being a young new teacher, is a pandemic. No one's ever experienced that. And I think you've come in with less experience going into teaching and then being online. You've done an amazing job.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
You can pay me later.
Yeah. We've got out.
What's your best moment? Where have you turned around? I know you said you really enjoy teaching, but when have you come away and said, you know what, this is why I do it?
I think it's so. I think it was last year when I was teaching part IT and part music. You know, I was teaching year 11 students, our 15, 16-year-olds, and some of the kids really struggled. That, you know, I don't think they're more hands-on. They don't, not academic as such. I want to get hands-on. They're brilliant at doing the practical, but they struggle a little bit more when it comes to the academic stuff. And sometimes as a result of that, their behaviour can be a little bit challenging as well. But when we got to the prom at the end of July, when they left, some of those students that really struggled, and we had a few arguments and stuff where just when they didn't want to do things and they are giving up, throwing in the towel, and I kept pushing them. Let's get on. Let's help you. Let's get it done. I think it was when we were at the prom, and he shook my hand and said, "Thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for getting me through." And at that point, it really gave me a shiver. I thought, you know what, we've had our differences. We've had, I've tried so hard with you, and you know what, it has gone in, and he come out with a really, really good result. And it was credit to him. He done the hard work. I just had to push him in the right direction to do it.
Yeah.
Right. But he wouldn't have been the sort of person to go and say that to many people. This young man, but since that point, he's started at the stick form. He's thriving. He's doing. It's like a completely different person. He's excelling in everything. I don't know what happened, but he's just something's clicked, and it's just he's gone with the wind with it. It's just doing amazing stuff. He's in his last year now, and I think he's going to have incredible grades when he comes out at the end of it. I really do.
You know what, Ben? I see that spiral effect. You've had those inspiring teachers that pushed you or guided you, and now you're there for someone that you can see and you can guide and inspire too. That's amazing. Yeah,
I just want to help young people get the chances they deserve. Get that. Go and, if you dream big, go and grab it, get it with both hands, and sort of run with it. I really want people to believe in themselves, because I think that's the biggest thing with young people. They don't believe in themselves. Oh, if you want to do that, you have to do this and this and this. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do this. And it's like, well, no, you can, but you just need to break it into smaller chunks. You can achieve those smaller steps rather than taking a massive leap. It's harder to take one massive leap than it is to take 3 smaller jumps to get there. And I'm just, I was given that opportunity when I was younger, and I want that to be passed down. When I get my qualified teacher status, I'd like to make my way up to be a assistant principal or assistant head teacher and that sort of thing. And I want to give young people that opportunity like I got, because if it wasn't for that, I don't know where I'd be right now. It wouldn't be doing this stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah. Kudos to you. We'll be there. Me and Karen will be there supporting you.
Yes.
Cheering me on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll pay you guys later as well, yeah.
Okay. So, Karen?
I think that's a great place to leave our viewers, with that positive energy and those positive ideas. Thank you so much, Ben, for joining us. Sandy, you want to take us?
So, Ben, it was an honor to have you on our show. It was so nice to hear your story, your background. about how you have accomplished all these achievements. It's so inspiring for the older generation as well as the younger ones.
Older, don't kid yourself.
We would love to have you back on the show again, and you can about the next stage now that we're hopefully coming out of the pandemic stages as well. We want to hear about all your new badges as well. Do you have to do 2 lots of videos, your gifts, or do you do one big one?
No, we're going to have to. I don't know. It's not going to be long till I find out. I have to keep updated on that one.
Thank you to all our listeners as well for listening in, and hopefully they're inspired as well, listening to Ben's stories just like us. And we will see you or hear from us again on our podcast at Chat with Sandy and Karen, which you can get on Google, Apple, you name it.
Thank you, Anchor.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Anchor, that's the one.
All right. Thanks again. Bye-bye, everybody.
Guys, bye-bye.
Bye.